Jerry Orbach, born on October 20, 1935, in the Bronx, New York, was a lanky, sleepy-eyed performer whose rich baritone voice and urbane charm made him one of the most versatile and beloved character actors on stage and screen. He first won acclaim on Broadway in the late 1950s and early 60s, originating roles in productions such as The Fantastics, Chicago, and Promises, Promises, where his blend of world-weary irony and heartfelt sincerity earned him a Tony Award for Best Actor in a Musical in 1989 for Promises, Promises. Orbach also endeared himself to family audiences as the voice of Lumiere in Disney's acclaimed animated feature, Beauty and the Beast, 1991. Yet it was his turn as Detective Lenny Briscoe on Law and Order, beginning in 1992, that vaulted him into the living rooms of millions. Over 12 seasons and more than 270 episodes, he imbued the hard-nosed yet humane Briscoe with wry wit and a genuine affection for justice, making the character one of television's most enduring. Privately, Orbach was devoted to his wife, Broadway dancer Elaine Cancilla, whom he married in 1967, and their 3 sons, Christopher, Matthew, and David. In early 2004, Orbach was diagnosed with prostate cancer, but he continued to work on Law and Order while undergoing treatment, rarely speaking of his illness until shortly before his unexpected death on December 28, 2004, at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center in Manhattan. He was 69. The outpouring of tributes from fans, colleagues, and critics alike underscored his unique gift for blending toughness with tenderness, a New Yorker through and through, whose legacy endures in roles he created on stage and the moral clarity he brought to television's front lines. Johnny Ramon, born John William Cummings on June 8, 1948, in Queens, New York, was the relentless metronome of punk rock, his unwavering downstroke buzzsaw technique forging the primal engine of the Ramones' sound. In 1974, alongside Joey Ramone, Dee Dee Ramone, and Tommy Ramone, he co-founded a band that eschewed musical virtuosity in favor of raw energy, simplicity, and speed. While other guitarists chased flashy solos, Johnny kept his riffs brutally straightforward, a relentless wall of sound that powered 14 studio albums and propelled the group through an astonishing 2,263 performances in every corner of the globe. His ironclad consistency, never missing a single Ramones show, and no-nonsense attitude helped transform a gritty Manhattan club act into internationally celebrated punk pioneers. After the Ramones disbanded in 1996, Johnny largely retreated from the spotlight, dedicating himself to ranch life in Southern California, occasional film cameos, and his marriage to Linda Daniele, whom he wed in 1994. Despite a low public profile in his final years, he remained an icon to generations of guitarists who found inspiration in his disciplined, egalitarian approach. In December 2003, he was diagnosed with prostate cancer, and on September 15, 2004, at age 56, he succumbed to the disease. His death marked the end of an era, but his hypnotic groove and unyielding simplicity continue to resonate in rock music, a testament to a guitarist whose passion more than compensated for technical restraint and whose legacy endures in every downstroke fired off at furious tempo. Alan King, born Irving Herbert King on December 26, 1927, in New York City, was a versatile and beloved American actor and comedian whose sharp wit and everyman persona endeared him to generations of filmgoers. King began his Hollywood career in the mid-1950s with supporting roles in musicals and dramas. He appeared alongside Jane Powell in the buoyant Hit the Deck, 1955, co-starred with Jane Wyman in the poignant Miracle in the Rain, 1956, and joined Tab Hunter for the lighthearted The Girl He Left Behind, 1956. He showcased his dramatic range in The Helen Morgan Story, 1957, with and Blythe before turning to comedy in The British Caper, On the Fiddle, 1961, and the ensemble satire, Bye Bye Braverman, 1968. Throughout the 1970s and 80s, King balanced big screen appearances. He voiced the stop-motion special Pinocchio's Christmas, 1988, and led the indie feature You Talkin' to Me? 1987, with television work notably narrating Ken Burns' landmark PBS series, Baseball, 1994-95. Never one to rest on his laurels, he returned to mainstream cinema in the 2000s, playing Jack's befuddled boss in Rush Hour 2, 2001, a supporting role in Sunshine State, 2002, alongside Edie Falco, and a memorable scene as Tim Allen's neighbor in Christmas with the Cranks, 2004. King's final screen appearance was in the independent dramedy Mind the Gap, 2004. Off-screen, he was devoted to his wife, Jeanette Sprung, whom he married in 1947, and their 2 children. A trailblazer who brought the flavor of New York's nightclub scene to the silver screen, Alan King passed away on May 9, 2004 at the age of 76, leaving behind a legacy of warmth, humor, and cinematic charm. David Barry Brdnoi, born June 5, 1940, in Cleveland, Ohio, became one of Boston's most respected and influential talk radio hosts over a career spanning nearly 3 decades. After earning a Ph.D. in political science from Brandeis University, he joined WBZ in 1976 and quickly distinguished himself by combining rigorous libertarian analysis with a warm, courteous on-air demeanor that won him a loyal, cross-border audience stretching from New England to Canada. Brdnoi's show eschewed the combative style of many contemporaries. He invited guests of all political persuasions, allowed callers uninterrupted airtime, and treated opposing viewpoints with genuine respect. An early adopter of in-depth listener polling and extensive research, he provided data-driven commentary on taxation, civil liberties, and foreign policy, while peppering discussions with wit and erudition. Privately, Brdnoi battled Merkel cell carcinoma, an aggressive, rare skin cancer. Diagnosed in the mid-1980s, he kept his illness largely confidential until 2001, when he disclosed on air that the disease had metastasized to his lungs and kidneys. Despite enduring rigorous treatments, he continued broadcasting, using his own experience to humanize discussions of healthcare and mortality. On December 9, 2004, Brdnoi succumbed to cancer at age 64, leaving behind a legacy of principled moderation, intellectual curiosity, and a blueprint for civil public discourse that continues to inspire hosts and audiences alike. Alistair Cook, born Alfred Alistair Cook on November 20, 1908 in Salford, Lancashire, England, became one of the most celebrated transatlantic journalists of the 20th century. After studying English literature at the University of Manchester, he moved to the United States in 1937 to join the staff of the New York Herald Tribune. There he quickly established himself with a blend of erudition, wit, and warmth that would become his trademark. In 1946, he launched his weekly radio broadcast, Letter from America, a concise, deeply personal commentary on American life and politics that he would continue without interruption for almost 58 years, longer by some measures than any other radio program in history. In parallel, Cook found a new audience on television. From 1971 to 1992, he was the affable, impeccably suited host of PBS's Masterpiece Theatre, introducing British dramas to millions of American viewers and becoming in the process the face of Anglo-American cultural exchange. His magisterial 1973 book, America, A Personal History of the United States, adapted from his masterpiece scripts, remains a vivid narrative of the nation's story. Cook retired from television in 1992, but continued to record Letter from America until shortly before his death. He was a devoted family man, married to Jane Ebsworth Oriel, with whom he had a son, John Byrne Cook, who went on to a career as both author and folk rock musician. Alistair Cook died of pneumonia in New York City on March 30, 2004, aged 95, leaving behind a legacy of insightful commentary and a uniquely affectionate bridge between the old world and the new.